At noon, we're getting ready to ring in the new year. There will be festivities taking place across the island tonight, and officials are reminding everyone to be safe and smart as they celebrate. In New York, huge crowds are packing Times Square for the iconic ball drop at midnight, and there's a heavy police presence watching over the event. Nikki Batiste gives us a look at the preparations.
Long before the clock strikes midnight and the confetti drops, the New York Police Department is hard at work keeping those celebrating safe.
It'll be busy here.
Yes, it'll be. We've got, some 70,000 networked cameras.
It's here in the Joint Command Center where the New York Police Department is monitoring thousands of resources deployed across the city, ready to detect threats from guns to radiation.
You're going to have representatives from across our own department, other agencies, all here looking at all of these cameras around us, sharing information and intelligence in real time.
Rebecca Weiner is the Deputy Commissioner of Counterterrorism and Intelligence for the NYPD.
How would you rate your concern for New Year's Eve?
Anytime you have this amount of people coming into such a confined space over a long duration of time, it is going to be a desirable target for somebody to do something bad.
Authorities say tonight's security plan has been calibrated to what's happening overseas following the Christmas market attack in Germany. Trucks will be in place to prevent vehicle ramming, a now common sight among big events here.
We'll make sure each one of those who come here to visit and enjoy the ball drop will be safe.
From coast to coast, law enforcement is sharing the same message.
We all know that public safety begins with us.
While in Boston, officials are asking those out celebrating to remain vigilant and report any suspicious behavior. As Atlanta prepares for its famous peach drop downtown, authorities there are dispatching hundreds of additional officers.
And wherever the city may call upon its police department, we're going to be there. We'll be there quickly.
Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
Here at home, a reminder for tonight: it is illegal to stop or park on highways to view the fireworks. Now, drivers will be cited for pulling over, sitting or standing on a highway or freeway. And in past years, officers witnessed dangerous situations when people illegally use the freeway to view fireworks. DOT is asking everyone on the road to place a priority on safety and to obey all laws while driving this New Year's Eve. And of course, pet owners need to prepare for tonight. Anyone with a dog should make sure to secure them inside or make sure they are in a properly fenced area. Another useful tip: give them a full day of exercise to tire them out. Meanwhile, the Hawaiian Humane Society is asking the public to take shelter dogs into their homes to ease their stress tonight. Sashimi is a New Year's tradition in Hawaii representing health and prosperity. So locals want to know how much they'll be paying for fresh ahi this year. Casey Lund went to the fish auction to find out.
You can still see physical signs of the coronavirus pandemic here on the floor of the United Fishing Agency's auction. Of course, everyone inside has to wear a mask. And when you talk to some of the folks that work in this industry, they'll tell you they haven't all recovered just yet.
Not really. It's been a tough road since 2020. Tourism rivals. Our product is high quality, ahi principally, but we catch marlins and other fish. But we're dependent on local demand, but also tourism demand. Since the pandemic, the markets haven't been all that great.
Despite those challenges, things have improved. And Michael Goto from the United Fishing Agency says this year's inventory is looking great.
We've had really abundant supply over the course of the past week. We'll be doing over 100,000 pounds a day at least, and it's gonna, I think, end up in a very positive manner for the general public when they want to go to their favorite retail establishments to purchase their ahi for the New Year's.
Market price really is dictated on consumer demand and supply, right? But we have a lot of supply coming in, so the boats have been working hard. We have 150 boats in this fleet that are operating year-round. This time of year, we have about 6 landing today, 100,000 pounds of ahi on the floor.
Eric Kingma is executive director of the Hawaii Longline Association. He says all of those men and women working in this industry are doing their best to bring quality product to the people of Hawaii and even some to the mainland.
We do send fish to the mainland, but about 80% of the fish we land stays in Hawaii. It's a grind of an industry, I think one of the hardest working industries in the state. But it's really about producing that fish for the local people.
Whether it's a supermarket, a restaurant, a sushi bar, they're going nonstop. So that's the point. I mean, that's why we do so much this time of year, because we know the supply is going to meet the demand.
You take a lot of pride in it too, and I know everybody here does.
Absolutely. It's one of our, as busy and as tired as we all get, it's a fun time of the year.
Again, this week's supply, we're told, is looking pretty good. So hopefully the sticker price at the store or your favorite sushi restaurant won't be that painful to see. But a reminder, this industry is also trying to promote swordfish. That season begins early in the year. I'm Casey Lund at the United Fishing Agency for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Case. Well, many of the 253 bills signed by Governor Green this past year will be taking effect at midnight. Eddie Dowd has a few that could affect your health and your wealth.
Among the biggest changes this year, the largest tax cut in state history. The Green Affordability Plan will reduce state income taxes for everyone in the state, eventually providing a six-fold increase in Hawaii's standard deduction. That will reduce state tax collections by about $5 billion over the next 6 years. But the man in charge of the Hawaii Worker Center is not impressed.
Someone that's making under $95,000, right? The benefit for them, they're looking at about $375 or something around that range. That's really not a lot.
New laws will also target corruption. Lobbyists must list and account for all expenditures above $25. Retired State Judge Daniel Foley was on the working group that came up with the laws.
Part of the whole mandate of my commission in recommending bills like this was to make government operations more transparent. A bill also passed a session ago that became law that prohibited lobbyists from making contributions to legislators right before, during, and after sessions.
There's also a change to the Sunshine Law, allowing boards to remove and block people who disrupt meetings.
As someone who is a community advocate and community leader who voices opinions that are not popular all the time at public board meetings, I think this is very concerning.
There are also changes in medical laws. Teens from 14 to 17 years old can now consent to care and services for sexually transmitted infections. Pharmacists can order and administer vaccines to people 3 years or older instead of 11 and up.
And that's Eddie Dowd reporting. An Oahu grand jury has indicted the man accused of stabbing 2 women in Halawa, including his ex-girlfriend who died. 38-year-old Reggie Lautalo is charged for the murder of 45-year-old Melila Pulu and the attempted murder of 33-year-old Meki Lautalo. Police say he and the 2 women were drinking in a parking lot on Kalaloa Street over the weekend when they got into an argument. Lautalo allegedly attacked them and then fled the scene. Pulu later died at the hospital while Meki Lautalo was stabbed in the leg and is expected to survive. Reggie Lautalo is being held without bail and could face an extended sentence as a multiple and persistent offender. The search is on for a group of men who attacked 2 people outside the Mystique Bar and Lounge in Kaka'ako. It happened on Sunday, December 1st. Both victims were knocked unconscious, then robbed. Police say the suspects fled in a silver Honda Odyssey and a white Jeep SUV. Well, this just in, Hawaiian Electric Industries has sold most of its shares of American Savings Bank to a group of local investors for $405 million. Now, HEI says the sale of 90.1% of its shares comes after its board of directors did a comprehensive review of the bank. The company says the money will be used for key utility initiatives, reduce holding company debt, and increase flexibility for funding for the Maui wildfire settlement contributions. American Savings Bank, which is the state's 3rd largest bank, will continue to operate independently and serve Hawaii's residents and businesses. We're told there will be no impact to customers, employees, or branches. Meanwhile, a milestone for Lahaina as security in the commercial area of the impact zone is being decreased. New rules went into effect this morning. Some of the security checkpoints around the fire impact zone are going away while others are being moved. Light towers will be installed at checkpoints and around the area for nighttime safety. And the Mauka side of Dickinson Street will be barricaded with access provided through Mill Street. New signs will be in place to reflect the changes. For a full list of those changes, head to our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. And as more Maui wildfire victims look to rebuild their homes, the county is looking for more workers to help process a flood of applications. Out of more than 2,200 buildings lost in the fires, 543 building permit applications have been submitted so far, and of those, under 200 have been issued. One Lahaina homeowner tells us he waited 2.5 months to get a permit to rebuild his family home off Front Street.
For those of us dealing with this, there's a lot of anger and frustration, but what underlies that is that we're scared. We're scared we're not going to be able to rebuild. We're scared that we may not be able to stay in Maui. We're scared. And so if we can recognize that we're scared, maybe we can approach it with a little more compassion to the people trying to help.
Most of the Lahaina area is in the special management area. It's nearly highway down. And as you get closer to the ocean, it does become more difficult to permit, especially when you enter into the shoreline. And the National Historic Landmark District is also a significant portion of Lahaina as well, which can add in an architectural review, which we are working on expediting.
The county's deputy director of planning says her employees are doing their best while working with state and federal partners to deal with complex applications. The county's planning department currently has 26 vacant positions. To join their team, you can start at mauicounty.gov. Hawaii Island police are asking for your help in finding the driver involved in a hit and run in Puna. It happened shortly after 9 p.m. past Saturday. We're told the driver was in a gray Toyota pickup truck and before slamming into a black Mazda sedan on Highway 11. The driver then fled the scene. Those in the sedan were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. If you have any info, call the number at the bottom of your screen. The U.S. Treasury Department says it was hacked by cyber criminals backed by the Chinese state government, calling the attack a major incident. A Treasury official said hackers breached federal workstations but did not provide details on how many or what sort of documents they may have obtained. The crooks gained entry remotely using a key stolen from a third-party vendor to override security. In a statement, the department said there is no evidence that the criminals have continued access to Treasury information. And hundreds visited a memorial in South Korea to pay tribute to the victims of the Jeju air crash that killed 179 people. Sunday's crash is the deadliest aviation disaster ever to happen in the country. Investigators are now trying to figure out what happened in the 8 minutes between the pilots reporting a bird strike and the crash. Also in question, the construction that the plane hit before erupting into flames. Officials say it was there to extend the runway. South Korean authorities say they will also inspect all Boeing 737-800s in the meantime.
Aloha, everybody. It's going to be a gorgeous New Year's Eve, but tonight and tomorrow morning, look for an increase in windward showers from that disturbance, which is going to move a little bit closer. Most of the rain will favor those windward areas of Maui and Hawaii Island, so it will be a little damp tonight for some neighborhoods, not all. Leeward sides will remain mostly dry, and whatever rain comes in will be moving out quickly because of the brisk and breezy winds. So it's going to be a breezy day today with lots of sunshine. Again, look for more showers tonight and tomorrow morning, mainly for windward areas.
Remembering the legacy of former President Jimmy Carter, I'm Cristian Benavides at the Carter Center in Atlanta with how the nation plans to honor the 39th president.
Also ahead on This Is Now, President-elect Trump is hosting his annual New Year's Eve bash at Mar-a-Lago this evening, his last big party before moving into the White House in 2025. And before we go to break, we want to show you how Taiwan rang in 2025. Beautiful display there. We'll be right back with more news in 2 minutes. Jimmy Carter is being remembered as a citizen of the world and a humble hometown guy. Christian Benavides shares more reflections about the 39th president from the Carter Center in Atlanta.
Those who knew Jimmy Carter in his tiny hometown of Plains, Georgia, considered him a friend.
He ate what we ate, you know, bacon and eggs, shrimp boils.
Neighbor Andy Walker often brought over homemade dishes for the Carters, who were a simple staple in their town of about 550 people. Grandson Jason Carter summed it up like this in an interview with CBS News.
He was the president for 4 years. He was the governor of Georgia for 4 years. And for the other 92 years of his life, he was just a citizen. And he considered that to be a high title.
For nearly half of his life, Carter was followed everywhere by a group of Secret Service agents at home.
We would jog down this road here.
And abroad.
You had kids in Africa that lived in villages, and they were probably 6 and 7 or 8 year old, and they would be hollering, "Jimmy Carter, Jimmy Carter, Jimmy."
The former president will lie in repose here at the Carter Center beginning Saturday for mourners to come pay their respects. But visitors have been stopping by to honor Carter's memory. That included Habitat for Humanity CEO Jonathan Reckford, who laid a signature blue hard hat for his highest profile volunteer.
He never disappointed me. I mean, all through the years, through his presidency and post-presidency.
Historian Tom Chafin says Carter can still serve his country, even in death.
He reminds us of just common decency and what the presidency once stood for.
Many hope that spirit will live on. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Atlanta.
President-elect Donald Trump will ring in the new year at Mar-a-Lago, but he wrapped up some last-minute business Monday when he endorsed Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to retain the gavel in the new Congress. Erica Brown has more details from Washington, D.C.
Happy New Year. President-elect Donald Trump will host his annual New Year's Eve bash at Mar-a-Lago this evening. It's his last big party before moving to the White House in 2025. But Trump's focus turned further down Pennsylvania Avenue to Capitol Hill, where the House Speaker's race will be the first order of business when the new Congress convenes on Friday. He wrote on social media that House Speaker Mike Johnson is a good, hard-working, religious man. He'll do the right thing, and we will continue to win. Mike has my complete and total endorsement.
I'm really humbled and honored to have President Trump's endorsement for Speaker again.
Johnson told Fox News that he plans to work hard to implement Trump's agenda on Capitol Hill. Trump's endorsement may help Johnson in his bid for the Speaker's gavel, but some Republican colleagues are upset with the deal he made with Democrats to avoid a government shutdown just before Christmas. Several Republicans have not committed to support Johnson, and Thomas Massey from Kentucky says he is a no vote. Johnson can only lose one Republican vote and still get the majority vote needed to win.
We're in constant conversation about all this. I think that those members and all of them want to be a part of these solutions. They made big promises to their constituents in this campaign cycle, and we've got to deliver upon them now.
The House cannot vote on anything else until a speaker is elected. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
And here's a look at Sydney. We're going to take you down under and show you the fireworks display there. And Guy's going to have your full forecast when we come back.
Aloha and happy New Year's Eve. It's going to be gorgeous today with lots of sunshine, just a few minor showers. But because of that disturbance, we could see an increase in those windward and Mauka showers tonight and tomorrow morning. So some neighborhoods for New Year's Eve going to be a little soggy, especially for the east end of the state. This morning we got some passing showers, but they're relatively light. And with the winds running so brisk and breezy, that limits the rainfall buildups, right? The rain's going to be moving through rather quickly through passing showers. Again, more showers due tonight and tomorrow morning, mainly for windward areas. As far as for today, it's going to be absolutely beautiful with lots of sunshine, and those breezy winds will help to keep us cool and keep the air quality pretty good. Now, as far as the surf, it will be rising tonight. We've got another swell coming in tonight, going to keep that high surf advisory back into effect by tomorrow. And then another bigger swell. We're talking a huge swell is coming in over the weekend. That swell will likely trigger another high surf warning. So we've got pretty nice conditions for New Year's Eve, but for tonight in through tomorrow morning, there will be an increase in those passing showers favoring windward sides of Maui and Hawaii Island. Still, though, lots of sunshine during the day, especially for those leeward areas. Beautiful breezy winds to start the new year, and the breezy winds will continue through Thursday. Lighter winds coming in on Friday, and when those winds lighten up and shift to the southeast and southwest, well, the fog will likely be building up as well. Air quality won't be all that good, but we'll also see a fair bit of sunshine. And we could also see some afternoon pop-up showers. So get ready for that change, again, coming on Friday.
And when we come back, who's joining Guy on the latest episode of Upfront with Guy Hagi? We're going to show you in 2 minutes. Before we go to break, here's Brian and Yunji with a preview of today's Spotlight Now.
Later today on Spotlight Now, we catch up with city officials to hear the plans for Oahu's next landfill.
Plus, Steve Alm from the Honolulu Prosecutor's Office is joining us. See you 1 o'clock on K5.
And here's a look at how Hong Kong rang in the new year. Awesome. We're going to be right back. Everybody, it's time for some good news now. You've seen him on TV, on This Is Now, on Instagram, providing the latest weather updates, but how well do we really know Drew Davis? We find out in this episode of Upfront with Guy Hagi as the Texas native talks about his journey to Hawaii and some of the top moments of his career so far. Plus, his reaction to a poll that has made him a fan favorite in the state.
Okay, now you've made quite a splash in the year and a half you've been here. Apparently, a new poll came out. God. And the poll says that you are the second sexiest man on TV. Guy. What the heck, Drew? Right on. I'm sure your mom's very proud about that.
Mark Carpenter was the sexiest news anchor in Hawaii.
Okay.
And I was a far second place.
Still, second place. Although second's the first loser.
I guess we can look at it now.
I do know comedy somewhat.
Oh, good. You can look for Upfront with Guy Hagi at hawaiinewsnow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, Drew is going to be back with us in the new year. He's on a much-deserved vacation back home in Texas. And Guy's next guest is Emmy Award winner Takahiro Hira, the actor well known for his role in the hit show Shogun. Thanks for watching This Is Now, everyone. We're going to have more headlines first at 4 right here on KHNL.